Alrighty, what is up, guys? This was episode 1 kinda, and today I picked up an APR downpipe. It's catted. It came with everything. It came with an O2 extender. This portion has the cat, as you can see, alongside with an O2 spacer and 2 clamps. And I'm gonna be installing this on my Mark 7. Right now it's fairly stock, just some BC coilovers. BR series, carbon fiber roof, BMC drop-in filter, and a dog bone insert. But aside from that, the car is just about stock, and it's all right. I probably need new tires and a proper alignment. One thing that I can say for you, Mark, anyone that lowers a car, just get an alignment. I knew I was supposed to, but I kept holding it back because I told myself I was going to buy wheels. I had different financial priorities, so I ended up not getting an alignment, which was dumb of me, which I should have done. If I was waiting on wheels in the first place, I still should have done it right away. But yeah, we're going to be installing these. I'm going to let my car cool down, pop the hood, and jack it up, and then we'll get to the installation. All right, so as of right now, I kind of have the car monster trucking a bit. I don't know if it needs to go any higher, but I know most of the installation needs 13 and 16 millimeters. I'm going to pop the hood and get started by removing the V-band clamp from the turbo. So yep, it's kind of easy. It's just use one of these basic thingies on a socket, or you can use just an Allen wrench and get it off. Like, what you do is the V-band over here by the turbo, left side, passenger side. You take, this is a 6 millimeter, I believe, a 6. And it's nice to have one of these swivel sockets. Probably one of the best ever investments I've made in terms of all my tools. And as you can see, it's a little loose. What we want to do is you want to make sure it's snug. It's hard to do with one hand, but you can kind of just angle it out like that. So I had it more at an angle, but once you get it in there like this, there you go. It's all snug. You can start loosening it. So it's so loose already, I can just use my finger over there. And yeah, I'm gonna loosen it. It's very hot right now, so I'm even gonna let it cool down for a bit. All right, so I just got the mounting bracket. These are all 13 millimeters. It's all 13s and 16s. Everything's a 13 except for the axle cover. So the axle cover is a 16 millimeter, but these are all held by 4 bolts. You could pretty much take them off with a short socket, and then you want to undo the clamps. So as you can see right here, I use a deep 13 over here. Geez, my hand's shaking. A deep 13 over here, and then you just kind of got to give it a little force by pushing it with your palm, and then you could slide it back or up, either way, doesn't really matter. And then after that, these are also 13s. You just remove those, and yeah. So I'm gonna get back to the bay and see if it's warm still. If you guys remember, I loosened this V clamp. Oh yeah, it's pretty warm. So yeah, I'm gonna try to remove that. And also this gray cover here, you just want to unclip it. Okay, let me see if I can do it just my hand. But yeah, you want to unclip this connection and just unclip it all the way where you see it route. So it's off the downpipe. So because that wire comes off with the downpipe when you remove it. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly do that. It's hard to do it with one hand, but I'm trying my best to record the best quality I can. It's a pretty easy thing to do. You could do it at home with these basic tools. So I'm just trying to get the point across. All right, after a lot of battling, I got the downpipe out. Just be careful with the mounting bracket. A lot of the heat shielding will get in the way, so you can just fold it up to get it out, and then you'll pull it out. So I'm just gonna take this O2 sensor on and put on the extender and everything and set up the new downpipe over there. See that shine? Well, downpipe's kind of on. Need to put all the other stuff back in. Make sure this is snug, and that's fairly tight. Ah, it's not coming off. Let me get that off. Okie dokie. I think I have everything bolted up. The clamp, well, aside from that cover and that mount thing, but I'll put that back on. I guess I'll start it up and see what it sounds like. Let's see if we have a check engine light. No check engine light. Sounds nice. Actually sounds pretty nice. Anyways, I'm gonna tighten up everything and make sure everything's all right. And I'm gonna put on map 2 and give a review of what it's like. Pretty straightforward install, not too bad. Honestly, it's pretty easy install. It kind of amazes me how like easy it is to work on these cars. Like literally this is everything I use for the install, aside from the jack stands. That's it. Just 13s and 16s, and these were just normal 13s and 16s. I needed a deep 13, but aside from that, like, it was pretty straightforward and easy. So yeah, that's the installation. I might throw a GoPro in there and do some sound clips and whatnot, and I'm gonna switch it to JB4 map 2 and see how it runs. So yep. Well guys, a day later, my car has broke down 3 times, and not because of the downpipe. As you know, I'm lowered. And as a result, I hit a dip at like 45 miles per hour, something I couldn't control. If I just stopped all of a sudden, and it was pretty dark, would have gotten rear-ended. So for people saying it's a driver's mod, well, reevaluate yourself. Yeah, I hit a dip. Oil pan was absolutely fine. EPC light came on, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Shut it off right away, just in case. Looked, no oil was dripping, no fluids at all. Drove for 3 minutes, it started limping. EPC light and check engine light came on. Got a bunch of different codes, so I coasted into a gas station, had my friend who's a VW tech check everything out, and pretty much the car wouldn't crank or turn over. And if I pop the hood over here, what I did initially was disconnect the battery, make sure everything was connected. And he pretty much took out this PCM plug, the one here at the top, and reconnected it. The car started up right away, but I'm just gonna take the car out for one last drive. I'm gonna be removing the JB4. I'm not the happiest customer with this product. I have to say, it is very nice to keep your warranty, and I sure do plan on keeping it, but for now, I did buy my JB4 used, so I do not really get support from George from BMS. And yeah, I'm just gonna have fun with it. Hopefully the EPC light or anything doesn't limp. I have all my tools and everything in the car, so I know what to do if I have to remove it or anything. But I do believe that JB4 is also the culprit of some of the issues I've been having with this car. The downpipe has been working well. I've had to kind of tighten it up. I hit a bump at least twice, and I've had to do it twice, and every time it disconnected it from the cap back because I didn't have it tight enough. So I tightened it up this morning, and so far it's been fine. But yeah, I'm just gonna throw in the GoPro and do some POV drives and get everything all set up. Times I've had to do this. I'm over it. I'm over it. Alrighty, how to remove a JB4 hot engine. Yeah, I really don't care. Well, there's one connector here. It's pull tab, whatever. It's on the intake manifold. Let me actually put my key up here. There, intake manifold disconnected. Pull that tab out. Well, this is being a a little bit of a pain in the ass. So I'll just put the little fast motion camera on. After that pull I just did, my EPC light came on, and I have no clue, no check engine light yet, but EPC light's on. Let's just hope I can get home safely. I'm only like 3 minutes away from my house. Might just pull to the side and go see what's up with it. Well, I pulled over to the side, ironically by my ex-girlfriend's house, and yep. Turbocharger, supercharger, boost sensor, A circuit. So I think it's an issue with the JB4, and that is the pipe that connects right to the boost pipe. I'm removing this thing and getting rid of this. I'm sick and tired of just how inconsistent the power feels and the lack of support, and it's just, the mobile app is probably one of the most atrocious things I've ever seen. I have a JB4 myself, or I'm a developer myself, so like I know what it's like. I write iOS apps myself, and from user interface, the UI UX is awful. The functionality, it's very buggy. I don't know if it's the hardware of the JB4 itself, but it's such an awful device. Would I recommend it? Yes and no. Having a warranty is nice. I don't know what I'm gonna do at this point. I still want to retain my warranty, but I'm getting rid of this unit. I'm gonna try maybe the new speed power module, and see how that works maybe, but this is just getting ridiculous. That's the code right there, P0237. So yeah, and I did check that connector earlier today. Made sure they were tight. I actually unclipped it and reconnected it just to make sure, but I think it's an issue with the JB4 and how it's taking that signal. As you can see, just an EPC light here, so that's causing my lack of power. So I'm just gonna clear it, remove the JB4, and yeah, as you can see, EPC light's gone. Alrighty. I'm so over this. I'm so over this. Like, literally, I'm so over it right now. Let's just hope the car doesn't start out with a EPC light. There. How long did that take me? Like 3 minutes to remove? Something like that. Where's the car keys? Where's the car keys? Wow. Wow. It sounds better too. All right. yeah, time to put, whoopsie, you know, I had to buy some shoes. Time to put this back on, sell that on Facebook. Also, hit me up $350 for this. If you buy it like this week, I'll throw in a dog bone insert. I don't want it. I don't want it. It comes with a Bluetooth Connect kit too. Just don't want it. Anyways, I'm just gonna throw this under tray back on, like if it even serves a purpose on this car. It does absolutely nothing, protects absolutely nothing. This thing was on when I hit the bump. Took it off this morning. That's the rest of the hardware over there. I'm just gonna put it on and yeah, you can tell I'm pissed. Without the JB4, I can feel a huge lack in power. The car feels restrictive, a little faster in stock because of the downpipe, and I do have an O2 spacer, so my gas mileage really isn't affected by it. All I just have is really much sound. No really horsepower gain whatsoever. I'm in third gear right now, just cruising, and it just feels like the car feels heavy. You know, like the JB4 again makes a huge difference. It's day and night difference in terms of performance, but unfortunately in my case, it didn't work out so well. It's a great product, but I can say the quality of the product isn't great. So I think I've come to a consensus of what actually happened. I did think it was my knock sensor, or I thought I hit my boost pipe. No, my boost pipe is fine. I looked at it, put everything together. My car is pretty much stock besides my BMC air filter and the downpipe. What happens is, like I just hit a dip, a pretty small one. When you take a pretty aggressive dip or a bump, and especially if you're lowered, there is a potential that it can cause the wires on the JB4 to either stretch. It can cause all sorts of different things, but it could affect the connectors too. So I think maybe the impact of the dip maybe caused a faulty wire. Right now the car is running fine. No EPC light, no check engine light. But I've had the issue before when I first got the JB4. So I realized that I was getting the EPC light and all of that. And another reason why is because of the way you do the put in the O2 tap. Now, this is probably my biggest complaint about the JB4. You have to put a hole in the wire, which one doesn't really make it so low-key if a dealership was really trying to get you. Let's say your motor blew, God forbid, and they look at that, they could tell the posi tap inside the wires, well, they'll know what it's for. I'm actually getting a new one because it's just like, I feel like it's possibly gonna do some damage to the wire. Like, it already did before I kind of fixed it, but the posi tap actually messes up the wire, and it caused my car once to throw an EPC light and just limp and get a check engine light. Like, it caused issues. So I feel like the issue is more towards either that posi tap or the connectors themselves. I could say the quality of the product and the way it is not the greatest. What I feel like George or the guys at Burger Motorsports could have done is they could have actually made a kind of like a connector in between the O2 connector instead of having to tap it, so you don't have to splice anything or do anything of that nature, because it does actually just ruin the quality of the wire itself, coming from someone that plays around with electronics themselves. That hole, let's say you want to remove it and you're going to the dealer, depending on how big that gap is, it could really cause some interference issues, some connectivity issues, and things like that. So that's probably my biggest concern about the JB4. In terms of the product itself, it's the physical build quality. Performance wise, it's great. As I said, the app is not good. I don't know if Donnie, the developer behind the JB4 app, works with Burger Motorsports. If I ever had the time, I really wish I could make a better app. One thing about the app is it's like barely designed for a Mark 7. The app is like literally, because the JB4 is popular in the BMW community, like you have like all the BMW stuff in the mobile app, like nothing Mark 7 related. So it just feels so like, the app doesn't even feel like it's for the car, you know? So anyways, That's what, a 4-minute and 30-second rant. That's how I feel about the JB4, the product itself. Again, if they could improve on build quality, I wouldn't be complaining. I don't want this thing anymore. I'll eventually get a proper tune. Just give it time. I trust this MQB platform. It's been reliable, and any issue I've had has been issues due to workmanship of installation of parts. So yeah, that's pretty much it.